Oh, oh. Right. There we go. Good morning, all my lovely people. Oh, nobody here yet. Well, I'm hoping not. I'm hoping to be on for 1 hour, 45 minutes to an hour. And so, welcome. And yes, my hair's up in a bun today, so you guys can't see it. I did not cut my hair. Good morning and welcome to Simply Live with SimplyLesa. I accidentally hit a button. Hopefully my volume is all right. The microphone volume should be fine. So, we should be okay. Welcome whoever's here with me. So y'all have not seen me on a Sunday Live in a little bit. I've been to Overland Expo and been teaching. And can you hear me okay, whoever's here? Okay, let's try that again. Can you hear me okay? If somebody could let me know that they can hear me, that would be wonderful. What I'm going to try to do today, if I don't keep hitting the wrong button, is give you some updates, like I said in the little post that I put out this morning. I want to update you on Overland Expo West and what it was like for me, and a little review of the classes that I taught, stuff like that. I want to discuss with you about the sponsorship by InstaPrivy. And I'm going to start working on, I don't know how I'm going to do this with my phone, but I'm still going to try. I am going to do travels with SimplyLesa. And then I want to discuss the rig changes and ideas. Sure, lots of this has come from being at Overland Expo, and some of it is also coming from being back out on the road and using the new rig. And of course, with restarting or whatever comes, the tweaking of what works and what doesn't work when you actually get out on the road. So there have been changes already that I've made, and there's more changes coming down the pike on the rig. And so can you hear me okay? Can somebody please text me a message? I mean, send a comment that says you're able to hear me okay, because I muted something on the phone and I want to make sure you can hear me. Welcome, everyone. So Overland Expo West was fantastic. I met so many people. Of course, I'm good at meeting people and I enjoy people. And even with my disabilities, my MS, my anxieties, my post-traumatic stress, my, whatever I have, that I'm so open about it. Y'all can find that stuff online if you want to find out about it. But even with all those things, there's a delicate balance of together and alone stuff. And so Overland Expo was great for me. My trip going up was great. I got to hang out with some friends before I got there. So I was able to work out some processes of getting back to being closer with people where I'd been so alone so much this past winter, which y'all kind of know that being alone that much was very challenging. Wow, this makes me way low in the picture. Okay. Oh, and look at my messy bed where I was reorganizing my clothes this morning. Yeah. Just what you wanted to see in the background. Okay. So, but Overland Expo was like fabulously wonderful. I love that event. I always meet new people and people I've known for years, reconnect with them. And I've always felt like they were more my people than some of the other events I've been to. Because it's like we have kind of an understanding of each other thing. And I just really, really enjoyed them. I was camped in the DIY area with a lot of other rigs. I don't think that I chose wisely in the actual location of where I camped in that DIY area. I could have had more traffic around the rig and a better experience had I perhaps made more of a presentation, or had I camped next to Bevan, where I started to when I first moved into that area. Bevan builds overlanders out of fire trucks. Huge, big, beautiful. And he shared, I hope it's all right to share this, but he shared with me that that's his retirement fund, is building more rigs to sell to people who can afford them. And he was originally from Australia, and his wife and he and grandkids all live down in the Phoenix, Arizona area now. So I cannot stand seeing that pile behind my head. So y'all forgive me. As I do housekeeping today. Okay, I'm hiding the pile. There. That feels better to me because I have to see this as well on the screen of my phone as I'm talking. I can see this. So yeah, I think that I can display my tiny micro rig a little better at future expos. I have been invited to continue to teach and be at future expos. So yay. Let's see. You guys got to walk around with me live on the Sunday during Expo. I really wasn't sure if my phone would stay connected or if that would work, so I'm glad it did. Don't forget, guys, that I have now super chats somewhere down in this corner, and I also have thank you. What's it called? Chat thanks. Thanks. It's like a tip jar thing, and it's on all my videos now underneath in the little bar where the thumbs up and the thumbs down and all that stuff lives. There's a little heart with a $sign in it. And if you want to add to my tip jar, like to say thank you for what I'm doing, you could click on that and you could choose a small amount of money, like a couple of dollars. I can't remember if it starts at $1, but whatever. But you can just pick an amount and you can like say thank you that way and help me either get more coffee or I do like coffee. Get more coffee or fill my gas tank or whatever. Um, let's see. I'm encouraged so much to keep going. My car is running wonderfully. I'm getting on average rate about 24, 25 miles to the gallon with the tracker. And this is after the work that we had to do. My tracker is an automatic because of my health issues. I needed to have that. Um, and I had been told not to expect to get the 26 on average that most samurais and whatever typically get, because my tires are wider, which makes them also taller, which, by the way, also makes my speedometer some 2 miles off. I have to just remember that it's a little the speedometer looks slow compared to what I'm actually traveling. Um, so yeah, tire size changes things. Uh, in older vehicles, if I understand this right, some mechanic will correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure. But in older vehicles, as your tires rotate, there's some kind of sensor or thing that the rotation tells your car how many miles you're going or how fast you're driving. And because my tires are a wider size, which makes them taller, it changes that. And in my particular case, it changes it by in low speeds, it's only 1 mile an hour different. But when I get up above, I think it's 40, 45, it seems like it's around 2 miles different. And if I have Google Maps running in the background, it'll tell me my speed, by Google Maps opinion. So I'm, if I'm driving slower than the rest of the traffic, I'm not too worried. The vehicle operates the tracker is so wonderful off-road. I'm just learning to get used to what my suspension mechanics called the road wildness of it. Like when you go over a bump or whatever, or you hit a rough part of the road. It's like an old Jeep. It just kind of like, or an old truck. It just kind of like bounces around a lot. I was able to earn enough extra money. I'm saying that carefully because I am on Social Security disability. And I have to be careful that I don't earn too much money. But I did report that I earned some money for teaching the classes at Overland Expo. And it was enough so that I was able to have my exhaust system uh, uh, gone over. And so we took out the old glass pack uh, muffler, which made it sound like, which is a cherry bomb muffler, which made it sound like a big truck. And so I'm still getting used to how quiet it is. And I need to stop back by that shop because there's a little metal rattle that might be inside the new muffler. I need to just double check if there's a small defect or something in that. I'm not used to hearing that sound. Just need to check it. That's all. And so before I go on another big trip, I will drive past that place and just double check that. Let's see what else with that's the car. That's some car stuff. But Overland Expo was fabulous. I was the lead on a conversation about what's now called different abilities. And that was based on my traveling with disabilities and my disabilities being nearly invisible, unless you know me well enough to say, yeah, she looks like something to right. Because sometimes if you know me well, sometimes you'll go, you don't feel good today, do you? And I'll be like, no, don't make me do things. Um, so I led a talk on that, met some wonderful people, um, and was able to share my ideas, but to bring out in the group, what do we need to talk about traveling with disabilities or different abilities, depending on who you are and how you want to say that term now to be politically correct, I guess. Um, so we had a gentleman there, I don't remember his name right now, but who has a website and helps disabled veterans. And he travels with a service dog, but his service dog is getting old. And I was thinking that it's having sight issues or something. And so now he feels like he's becoming the service person for his dog. And he had his dog in a um, one of those collapsible wagons and brought it to the talk. We are going to, I've shared it with the Overland Expo organizers that we would like to have some support for the ADA camp for the people who want to come to that discussion that have mobility issues, to be able to transport them over to that discussion in the future. And so they're working that out. Hopefully, in the Pacific Northwest, they'll be able to at least share a golf cart with us if we need it, so people can get to that conversation. I taught a class on overlanding and nomadic travels on a fixed income. We talked about how there are, how each individual or each family unit or whatever has their own needs versus wants, their own style of travel, and that being able to, in my opinion, being able to find your priorities can help you to stay more focused on what your priority is, so that when you're making decisions, you can stay on track and and remember your budget, and be able to have your experience in a way that doesn't hurt your income or your budget for said travels. I'm blessed to have this home base to come and go from. Yes, at times I have, considered whether I really wanted a home base, but I have learned that it has provided me a different kind of stability that has allowed me to heal some of my other traumatic um, anxiety laden issues. And I can see where it's useful for me and my friends. If any of you follow like Camper Van Kevin, let's see, Camper Van Kevin, CVK is the abbreviation. Anyway, Camper Van Kevin has recently moved to this same county that I'm in. And he and I have talked off and on. He knows that I'm still looking for another Yorkie. I really miss Ozzy, and I really feel like it's about time that I have some love in my life, safe love in my life. Anyway, so I'm kind of looking for that too. But Camper Van Kevin, having moved into the area, the point I was going to make was similar to him. I have space here on my property where I have friends that come seasonally and hang out at my place. But it's by invitation only, and basically for friends, because I tried to do other things like get togethers here, and I was disrespected, and I'm not having that here the same. But similar to the way that he's having a home base that he shares with his friends, I have done that for years here. So, uh, that doesn't have much to do with the Overland Expo experience. Overland Expo, let's see. I didn't get out and run around as much as I have in previous years, though I did, but I visited a lot, reconnecting with a lot of really good friends. I didn't even realize until later that some other people were there that I knew. Um, I guess I missed them, but or they missed me, whatever. But it was really wonderful to reconnect. I did have to be careful of one of the vendor aisles. I could walk through early in the morning when they were first setting up, but because they were selling um, little cute, wonderful little propane fire pits and things of that nature, there was a bunch of them all kind of in the same area together, and my allergy to propane made it very challenging for me to, I had to avoid that section. But a couple of mornings when they were setting up, I was able to walk through there before they had attached to propane, and I was able to look. And so there was this guy who recently had created and was manufacturing in a small plant somewhere in the United States, um, propane fire pits that are in ammo can boxes. And he has made them so they double as cook stoves. And they're cute. They have little legs on them to protect the ground. And they're very cute. And, you know, if I could use propane, those are really cute, small size, double duty. I think they're a lovely little thing. Obviously, I can't use them because of my propane allergy. I kind of wish he'd make one that ran on charcoal just for me, but whatever. I know the rest of the world is not like me in that regard, but they're very cute, very compact, and anything that is a double duty item. I mean, how wonderful is that? My coming from a small space background and loving the minimalism, I love the items that I own that can do more than one thing or be used for more than one use. It just makes it an even better thing to have around. Um, okay, so I kind of avoided that section a lot. I wasn't interested in rooftop tents, so I didn't really spend any time looking a lot around them. I did go see the Rev tent people again because I just think that that's an ingenious invention. And I learned that that couple, I've forgotten their names, I apologize, but I learned that that couple was the couple who started Front Runner, and then they sold the company out to someone else. And now they make the Rev tents, and they're kind of retired. But they had traveled round the world travel a number of times as overlanders. And they are discouraging people for using the Rev tent as a rooftop tent. It's a beautiful piece of kit. And if you are a person who has a pickup truck with a bed, an empty bed in it, or you have a vehicle where you're challenged with living inside of it, but you have enough space for this, I think it's 25 pounds, it might be 28-pound tent that includes a built-in mattress. I think you can I think you can zip the padding out of the mattress in order to clean it or something. Don't hold me to that, but you can look it up. Um, and look it up on the Overland Expo website, and they have an app. You if you went to the event, you can get on the app and see those things. Um, but I think it's a beautiful tent. I love the fabrics that they offer for the different design factors. But I love that it's lightweight enough for somebody with some age or some mobility issues to be able to take it in and out of a vehicle, or the ability to just easily set it up in the bed of a truck. I love it as an item. I'm not probably going to get one and carry one. I don't care about being a ground sleeper anymore with tents. I can do it, but it's not my happy place. Um, it, um, but I can see a lot of use for this tent for people who are just weekend camping or whatever. It is another good option. And so take a look at that Rev tent. That was pretty cool. Um, I like the, am I going to remember the right name? Brew, brew something, brew jug. I didn't write it down. Uh, they have some really good thermal coffee presses that are the bomb looking. Their coffee was delicious. The guys who were the closest vendor to where I was camped in the DIY section were selling these fold up shovels and multi-use shovels, and they have, oh, wrong company. I'm just realizing I was saying the wrong company. Um, but the brew, whatever it is, brew jug people, their things were cool. It's a different, the coffee came from a different vendor, and the coffee that the shovel people were serving in the morning was from one of the coffee brewers that was at the event. And it was delicious coffee. And I was so grateful that they made it a lot of mornings because we had a lot of high winds and that was challenging. Um, I met up with Sarah again. Sarah Lamy puts together short stories written by nomads and world travelers into other books and publications. She helps people to publish their writing. She and I might work on a project. We discussed it. One of the overland magazines is discussing doing an interview with me when they get a chance. And when I get a little more done on my rig, of course, it would be nice if my rig was a little more show worthy. There's nothing wrong with my rig. I noticed that some people, made big posters, and some, if your paint job's shinier, sometimes people show up better to look at it. I do have plans in the future to paint the tracker, and I want to leave it as black and white. I like that color the way it is, and in Arizona, the white reflects the heat pretty much. So I do like that white color for the tracker, and to me, it looks like a tracker. I mean, yes, they came in lots of colors, but white was one. I want to do a good quality bed liner paint job when the time comes. I've already been discussing it with my friend Matt, who runs the Bug Barn in St. John's, Arizona, and he has agreed that he will be my shop to do that body work and paint job when I have the money saved up to do that. In order to progress on that end of things, because that's not important for the mechanical workings. That sounded strange to me, but to the mechanical ability of the tracker, it's almost an extra, not really a need. But I like things to look good, and it will show off better. I am not quite ready, but very soon I will be starting my Patreon channel in order. I mean, I have it out there, but I haven't done the work to like build up the back end of the Patreon so that people could support me on a monthly subscription basis. And I would be able to put more daily information out there and have more communication with the people that want to subscribe and help me in a way that would allow me to make the money to do things like paint the tracker, or do the extras, and or pay for the gas for the long trips. Like, I would love to go to Nova Scotia. I would love to go to Baja. I would love to be able to teach at more of the expos. I really, really enjoy the personal interaction and the teaching, and I think I'm much better at that than some other things that I dabble in trying. And I'm so looking forward to some of the travels with some of my other overlander buddies. Well, and nomadic buddies that I've had for years, that just to be able to get back out and have more of that travel lifestyle. I When the Patreon does go up, it'll be more daily interaction with me, and then weekly there will be video that I will bring over here to YouTube, that so that any of you who cannot afford or choose not to afford to be subscription based, you'll still get to see stuff. You just won't get the everyday stuff, and you won't get the I'm in this place. If you want to show up, it's okay. um, which occasionally it is okay, but not always. So, Overland Expo West. Spent quite, I was parked really close to the Overlander next door. That's Juliana, who is Phil from Down to Mob's girlfriend. And so I had quite a little bit of interaction with them. And Juliana and I are still talking quite a bit. Um, I also bumped into Brian and Sierra from, yep, Overland, off-grid Overland Adventures, Overland Off-Grid Adventures, whatever that is. And Brad and Lily is his dog, who have the Sun Raider, and he overlands in the Sun Raider, and he has like rebuilt it with a different engine, and the inside is kind of cabinized and very lovely. I also bumped into Phil and I forgot the I forgot the woman's name. They build out four-wheel drive vans uh, in a beautiful way. And they have an Instagram and a YouTube. And recently, I can't remember their names. It's Phil and something is the girl's name. Anyways, and they build vans for profit now. And they recently got a a turtle top van to redo, like an 80s something. They didn't bring that, they brought a different one. Who else? I bumped into Ava a couple of times. Ava does the filming for Overland Expo YouTube channel. Guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. That helps the algorithms find whatever. I have new super chats if you want to help out in that kind of like financial or tip jar kind of way. Also, I have super thanks is what it's called. You'll find it in the little bar where the thumbs up and the thumbs down, and then there's a heart with a $sign. And if you just want to buy me a cup of coffee or say thank you or tip me for what I'm doing, you can hit that. And I think the lowest amount of money in there is either $1 or $2. And if you want to, only if you want to, not begging. I'm doing pretty well. I do manage my money carefully. It's the only way I could have done what I've done. And now that things are like settling in and the rig works really well, I'm feeling so much more capable of being able to have the life I always wanted. And I am going to build it so that I can take some trips. And okay, more Overland Expo West. What else? I didn't go to the class, but I may at a future expo if I'm able to. There were people there that were teaching yoga with your vehicle. And I understand that yoga is supposed to be really super good for people with MS. So I would like to, um, explore that more. I've always kind of done an intuitional stretching, exercisey thing. And I have a balance board here that I did buy. I used to have one in Costa Rica and I loved it. But that's because with MS, my balance is off. I'm not going to travel with that piece. It's just too big a piece. It's not huge, but I don't have a double use for it. So I don't want it in my space there. And just like extra chairs and tables that are lawn furniture, they just sit here, because I'm not taking these things with me. I did run into Paul from Instaprivy, and his wife said, I kept missing him this year a lot. I mean, I did see him, but he was just busy. And his wife at one point just said, Lesa, we've watched you for years too. And here, we're sponsoring you. So I have an Instaprivy now. You will start to see that in videos. Basically, what it is a bathroom in a backpack. And it is a fabric foldable enclosure that you can sit inside of. And it has a fold out toilet seat that you can put a plastic bag on, and you can either put a bucket under it or you could dig a cat hole under it, and you can have a safe place to sit and cover yourself, wind, rain, whatever, however close people are to you, things of that nature. And I've been talking to Paul for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years now. And I'm so glad that he invented this. And then to make it available in this little 7-pound backpack, which includes toilet paper and a little trowel and plastic wag bags with absorbent pads inside to suck up all the liquids and whatever. I just think it's wonderful to have an option for me, for people with kids, for guys with wives who are a little shy of, showing their butt outside or whatever, for a road trip with grandma or great grandma, and she's got to go and you got to stop beside the road. She can sit inside this thing and do what she's got to do. And it's very useful because it also has a loop on the top that allows you to hang it from a tree limb, stick a pole out from a tent pole out from your roof rack and hang it on that. And then you can use it for shower enclosure, for changing clothes, for whatever. But I just think this is a wonderful thing. The price is reasonable. And most cars, in my humble opinion, most cars ought to just have one of these in it, just in case. And so I'm not going to hike with the thing if I was backpacking and stuff like that. But I just think it's wonderful. And I didn't check. I think I would like to check at some point. Could this fit over somebody in a wheelchair? It might. Who knows? But I just think that it's a blessing to have something that could be used like this. So as soon as I get my ducks more in a row, you'll be seeing more of that as I travel. And as I travel, and sometimes as I camp with another person and they're able to hold my phone to get the pictures for me of me using it. That's what I would like to be able to show you more of. So you'll see more about it in my future travels with SimplyLesa videos. And I'm going to just make those as like I've done with the titles of these lives. It's Simply Live with SimplyLesa, and then whatever the subject is. And I'm going to do the same thing and leave it on this SimplyLesa channel. I don't want to start another second channel and have to manage it with all the things I have going on, or with the fact that with MS comes sometimes a lack of concentration. And if my concentration is off, I don't need another piece of something to be challenged with. So I'm going to leave everything as under the SimplyLesa channel name. And I am going to go back and do some more writing on my blog spot and leave that as SimplyLesa. I'm looking into GoDaddy and I'm looking into WordPress. WordPress looks complicated to me right this minute. I used to be a techie. I probably could figure it out. Maybe the day I looked at it, it was just too complicated for that day. But I'm looking into those in order to bring everything into some kind of simplified thing, and perhaps do simplylesa.com or something like that. So, and then to hook in the Patreon so that y'all get the big picture. And so I can have simple gear ideas or something like that, travels with, or gear with SimplyLesa, something like that. Because I do, hey, look, I do like to test gear. I really do. And so going to Expo and just being able to see things and go, oh, that's so great. And I'm so excited. And then I back off and I go, I do not need that. I have enough stuff, right? Or I've been eyeing pots again. I go back and forth with pots all the time and cooking because I'm the allergy propane thing. And when I'm traveling, I'm using my hiking alcohol stove. I have a Toke siphon stove that I love, and it works really great. And I do cook with it. I don't just boil water. Yes, my eyes itchy. I don't just boil water like hikers often do, but that's because, well, whatever. I eat whole foods. I do my best to stay away from anything that gives me stomach or digestive distress, which leads to challenging bathroom issues. We try to avoid that at all costs while we're traveling. And so some of my pots have been a challenge to clean. And just because some days I just don't have time to do everything. And I wish I could just wipe them out. I had switched to titanium for the road because, one, I don't react to titanium at all. It doesn't, the food tastes don't stay in the pot. And you can use them on an open fire as well as you can on some other kind of stove. So I know that when I'm near charcoal or a campfire, I'm going to put my pot over there just as easy as I'm going to do anything else. So, but I was challenged a couple of times. One of my stoves that I have, and I love, it's called a Lotus stove. I might have to give you more information. If you're really interested, let me know. But I do love it, but it's one wick in the center. And so it creates a hot spot right in the middle. And titanium already creates hot spots. And so everything burns right over the flame with that stove. So that stove, I've learned, works a little better with a cast iron fry pan or a stainless steel pot, but it's still often stuff sticks and burns. And so I get annoyed, and especially when I'm busy or teaching classes or something, that like the other day, I burned my eggs in, I was boiling my poached eggs kind of in soup. It's not a typical American meal, okay? But I did travel in other countries, and it's pretty typical in other countries that you have yesterday's leftover soup and you poach a couple eggs in the top of it, and that's today's food. Anyway, so I was sort of doing something like that, okay? And the eggs sunk to the bottom and burned on the bottom. And then I had to clean the burn off. And it was just, a frustrating annoyance. And so I was looking again at maybe if I got something that was ceramic coated. But the minute I scratch the coating, I'm going to have to trash the pan. And ceramic coated titanium camp pots with folding handles can be pricey. I did find a $20 little fry pan. I would like to buy it. I'm thinking about going ahead and just ordering it to meet me up the road somewhere at some uh, Amazon hub. And but I am thinking about doing that so that I can have that easier cleanup some days, and for when I want to like just put my eggs in, I don't know, scramble eggs or something, and just wipe it out. So I am considering going ahead and buying the $20 fry pan I found. The more expensive ceramic pots, I would love to have the MSR Solo ceramic pot. The handle folds on top of the lid, so it makes a package which would let me put my other stuff inside of it. But I think that one's closer to $50, and I'm just not ready to spend $50 on another pot. I have plenty of pots here at the home base for like when I have company. This cast iron fry pans here and stuff like that. It's normal, kind of normal stuff. Okay, that I got off on that, but that was pots. I did look at the Sea to Summit pots, but I can't justify another anodized aluminum thing. I just want to stay away from aluminum. There is talk in the MS world about kind of not doing aluminum. So I'm like, I do so good with titanium. And some of the titanium camping stuff is just coming down in price. But know that it heats up fast, it cools down fast, it creates hot spots, so burning is a possibility. And so as long as you're willing to deal with the learning curve on titanium, it's great stuff. And there's a guy, Lone Wolf, I forgot the numbers. It's Lone Wolf something on YouTube. He uses and tested a lot of titanium, and he's good at it. So, if you get a chance to watch his stuff, do that. Do you guys have questions for me about what I saw at Overland Expo, what my experiences were? What would you like to tell me? Please say hi on the chat function. I haven't seen any chat messages this morning. Say hi. There's 11 of you out there. Thank you for the thumbs up. Anybody that wants to give me a tip, yes, use the super chat or the super thanks on any of my videos, and I appreciate that so much. And I'm so grateful for everything you guys have done to help me get to where I'm at. Let's see. I had put out on that little community post this morning a picture of my logo, which is on my business cards now. I do have business cards. And a picture of the back end of I can't remember if it was an old Land Cruiser or if it was a Jeep. I think it was a Jeep. I thought it was cool that not only did they have a really neat trash backpack on the back of their tire, but that their Rotopacks, water container, they had made a neoprene sleeve that was camo for theirs. And I like that a whole lot, that they were covered. Arizona plastic just gets ruined in the heat and the sun. So I like that. I like the look a lot. I'd love the back end of my tracker to look a little bit like that, but I don't want to put the weight of a backpack on my tire because, it's a 24-year-old vehicle and the tailgate hinges could get compromised with too much weight on the tire. I would like to cover my tire. I think that's wise with the sunshine. So you probably will see me covering the tire soon. But I've thought about putting large buttonholes so that I could put webbing through the holes in the tire to attach some kind of extra storage bag on the back, of some light item. Um, right now, my shovel and my emergency bathroom stuff has been riding back there in a cargo net that I found that was able to go around the circumference of the tire. And so that's been traveling back there while I've been traveling around for the time being. So, travels with SimplyLesa. I'm going to travel some more. So, you are going to see delays in what you see online and what's actually happening. Because for safety reasons and other reasons, and personal, safety reasons mostly, I will not always be showing you exactly where I am on the day that you think I'm showing you, because that's just wise. And my home base will not be unattended for any of those neighboring people who are, oh, good, she's gone. Let's go see what she's got. Yeah. Don't expect it to be empty when I'm not here. And don't expect that somebody's not paying attention, because it's only wise to pay attention. All right. Rig changes and ideas. So I left out of here. You guys had seen that I built the plywood platform for the sleep-in. I had been camping in one area with high winds for over a week. And because of the winds and the sand blowing around, sometimes in Arizona, you end up with the grit of sand in your teeth from the wind blowing so much. So, got a little annoyed and was sitting inside a lot. And my head was touching the ceiling. That's so freaking annoying. It doesn't annoy everybody in the world, but it annoyed me. So at one point, I decided that it was time, and I took everything out of the car and I started over. I decided to just fill in the empty spaces around the seat that lays flat, and just fill in the extra spaces with gear that I'm traveling with. And then I laid my camp mat on top of all of that and slept beautifully, and was able to sit up on and in that extra seat with bad weather and bugs and whatever else. We had mosquitoes in a couple of places. And I was gone, and I was back here, and I was gone again, and I was back here again, and I went to do something else, and so y'all don't expect to know exactly where I'm at. But I will put more information on Patreon. So as soon as I get that and my membership on YouTube and Patreon, I want them to match so that they're the same stuff. And so I will be working on making that consistent and learning how to get that stuff out there using only my phone. And anyway, so that's where I'm going with that. And then whoever is a member will be able to know about my everyday life. But the other people, and I will make it that with the higher end membership, that your name will be like in a list at the end of my videos. So, and that you'll get to know things about where I'm at and what I'm actually doing every day, kind of stuff. Let's see, anything else? Any questions? If you guys would just type me a message, a comment, and if you put a Q in front, I'll know that it's a question, so that I will answer you. And there's 10 or 11 of you here, but I'm not seeing any chit-chatting today. Um, do I have everything set right? I thought I had it all set. Yeah, I have everything set right. So I guess you guys aren't talkative today, huh? It's really nice weather here right now. Um, cool in the mornings, cool in the evenings. That's nice. You get some good sleep. Um, and groceries are more expensive in the world. And I'm so grateful that my car is really good on gas so that I can continue to go places. Um, oh, I found a vendor who said he has one set of mini Max Tracks. I would like to have a set of mini Max Tracks. I don't know how I'm going to mount them on the rig yet, but he said they were, what is it, emergency orange? That bright orange, anyways. And, but you can use Max Tracks also for helping to level a vehicle and stuff like that. You can use them for other things, but mini ones are short. So I know that it won't help me span a really big, like, divot. I know that. But I don't have 300 and some odd dollars for Max Tracks anyways. And I'm not sure where I'm going to put them yet. So, but I would like to have them. I have been in some sandy situations with, back when I had Nantucket years ago and in the Cherokee, and I almost got stuck a couple of times. So having Max Tracks would be good for at least the sand. My WeBoost is working wonderfully. The new phone is still working good. I am so glad that all of you people are here watching alive with me. I thought about walking you around my rig today, but the wind's blowing and it would affect the sound. And I didn't want to annoy you all with that sound today, so I'm not going to walk you around. And I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. Not because I had to, just because, it was cool. I was awake. And then I had to go to the bathroom. Then I decided to put the coffee water on out back on the back porch with the fire. And I have to be careful with fire. It's fire ban time. And, you got to be careful. But I had a very contained, careful, I did it right. It was careful. Anyways, so yeah, looking at mini Max Tracks. I'm hoping to connect with Chris. I forgot his wife's name. I'm getting sometimes the memory, but Chris McLean. I'm gonna connect with them soon about a vehicle-based hammock stand. I love their hammock stands. That's all I got to say. I think they're beautiful. I think they're wonderful. I think they're a great accessory. And I used to be a hammock camper. So the ability for them to have that XL bare bones that will take a 12-foot hammock and has the awning arms so that you can put up a ridge line, which allows you to then hang a mosquito net or a mosquito cocoon and a big tarp so that you can keep out of the weather and actually camp in it. I love that. And I love that he makes one that rides and stays in the receiver hitch. They are pricey, but they're worth it. This is a family who loves to be outside, and they build these in their metal workshop somewhere up in Oregon. And I don't remember, near the Bend, Oregon area somewhere. And their new company, I think, is called Adventure Hammock Systems or something like that. And so they are selling other pieces, like they're selling the Swift hammock stand as well, which is a freestanding stand that is only 15 pounds and folds real small. We're not sure yet which hammock stand is going to work best, one for Lesa and 2 to go with my tracker. Um, Chris has kind of said that he thinks that it's much better to have a 2-inch hitch receiver attached to your vehicle, as opposed to mine has a 1.25-inch receiver, and I was going to get the adapter. And he's saying, in his experience, the adapters aren't as stable with the hammock stands. So he would like to see me change the hitch, the part under the car that's bolted to the frame. And I can't afford to do that right now. So I know originally when I was looking at it, I know that the Swift hammock stand, which is freestanding, I don't believe that they've got a modification for putting the tarp and the mosquito cocoon over your hammock. And so that's why I kind of was not looking at that one that's freestanding. But I had been looking at the tire accessory that goes with the hammock stand, with the McLean hammock stand. And that allows you to ratchet strap onto your tire a 2-inch receiver hitch, which then one of the hammock stands from McLean goes in that 2-inch receiver. And so it's kind of lean in that direction. They have agreed to give me a really super discount on something. And so I think what we're going to do is get together next, that when I get a chance. And then we'll try to figure out the best way for me to add hammock camping back to my life, and just relaxing in a hammock, which is my happy place, evidently. That was something I just learned. But and adding that to my travels with the tracker. So I'm gonna let Chris McLean help me make those decisions, and then help me make a plan financially for how I go about buying the pieces to allow me to have my happy place hammock along with my vehicle. And whether I use it as an accessory or I sleep in it will just be a thing, because I love to sleep in a hammock. It is one of the most comfortable sleeps I have ever had. I did learn in Panama how to properly sleep in a hammock. And I still have a membership on hammock forums. And I used to chit chat with Shug all the time. And so Shug has some videos out there, Shamugari, I think. He has some videos out about the McLean bare bones XL hammock and him sleeping in it, and how it hangs off the back of his newer retirement Jeep. Take a look at those if you're interested, but you'll be seeing more about that as I'm able to. I'm gonna, like I said, I am gonna camp with some friends soon, and when I am, they'll be able to hold the phone for me and help me with some of the filming. That'll make some of this more interesting. Rig changes and ideas. I really love the little tiny refrigerator. It's helping with my grocery budget as food is getting more expensive, and as the COVID food stamps in my life went away. They always were supposed to go away. But as those changes have happened, it's helping me. When I go grocery shopping now, I still only go a couple of times a month. When I'm on the road itself, sometimes I go more often, but my mindset is that I only shop twice a month. And so I buy like a head of cabbage because it's cheaper than chopped up cabbage. And I buy broccoli big broccoli and big cauliflowers and whatever. And then I either come back to camp or come, to home base, and I spend the time over the next day or so. Right. Sometimes I'm tired from shopping. And I chop all of those vegetables up and put them in quart-sized freezer Ziploc bags. I didn't want to go to that route, but they're the most pliable and moldable for squeezing things into the tiny refrigerator. And because I use mostly cruciferous vegetables, I put some salt on them when I chop them and bag them up. And I only put one item in each bag. I don't mix a bunch of stuff unless it's the tail endings of things that I'm going to cook it today or tomorrow. And then I put those bags in the refrigerator, and I make sure right now my battery pack, my solar generator battery pack, is a poor version and has a very loose connection. So I check it daily. I check it to make sure that my refrigerator's running. And if I drive, I double check to make sure that the connection has not come loose. Um, so I package these things up. I put a little bit of salt in them, and that way, as they're in the cooler space of the small refrigerator, cabbage with a little bit of salt, any cruciferous vegetables with a little bit of salt, as it's there, it's slowly breaking down and becomes like sauerkraut or kimchi over time. So the thing is that it never actually spoils. So whether I have it in there for a day or two or it's in there for 2 weeks, it's still good food without freezing it and without having to cook it or process it anymore. So that's how I have always handled some of my items, even when I didn't have a refrigerator. The refrigerator allows me in a hot car to have a more controlled temperatured environment. It is not a necessity. I can do this with a cooler. I can do this with those cooler bags you saw me use in like other vehicles I've had. I just would put a damp cotton towel on top, and I would leave the containers a little open so air could get through. And then it would do an evaporative cooling. When you do it in bags with a cotton towel, in Arizona, you need to check that towel 2 or 3 times a day and make sure it stays damp. But the refrigerator has let me take a little more, a little less work. I do have to make sure that I have my solar attached to the battery pack and that it is, I have to make sure it's always running. And when I drive, that connection's bad. So there will be a day when that will change. I've had a couple of conversations with buddies about maybe adding a tiny roof rack on the tracker. I don't really want to, but if I have to in the future, I'll consider it. I do want to put on more lights for night driving. I don't usually night drive, but at the expo, I had to show my rig off at a night event and then come back and make a camp. And I didn't know where I was going to make camp. It wasn't like I had set up first and was coming back to camp. It was arriving at camp at 11 o'clock at night, which is not my style. But for this event, it was important. And I realized I needed better lights for this because I had to drive off a road, down a little ditch, and I didn't know what was there. And it's a good thing I got out and walked it first because there was a cement thing. Could have been bad. It wasn't because I'm super careful. But so I would like, cool lights. I don't know whether it's worth the wait for me to put a winch on the front of this, but it would look cool. I see people with the red shackle D-rings on their hanging off of their cars. I don't need a red shackle thing, but I like the red dangly thing. So, but that's all dressing it up basically because I have tow hooks that are welded on my frame. So I don't really need those things, but they'd be cute. And I do need a better way to carry water. Trying to figure that out. I ended up buying 2-gallon things at Walmart, and the sign said they were $1.50, and I got to the checkout and they were $3, and you can't refill them, and that pissed me off. But I get over it. So I'm looking for easier ways to do things. And if I do any build out things to make the kitchen sleeping area in there a little more convenient, then I might ask Parnell about the aluminum frame thing and having him help me with a design for that, because I can see where it would be useful. And like where my wheel wells, where the sidewall under the removable back top and those sliding windows is, it comes down a nice sidewall, but then the wheel well is curved. It's not flat at all. It's curved. And but it's a very thin piece of plastic trim. So you can't attach anything to it. And I tried using the cargo nets and stuff just falls. So it would be nice if I could build that somehow that would make it more useful. It's a little narrow space, 3 or 4 inches, but 3 or 4 inches is useful space. So I may look into that. And Parnell did such a really excellent job on Michael and Corey from Overland Bounds. Their origami kitchen that he built them, that is so cool. It rides on their against their jerry cans, and then it kind of just flips and flips and flips, and it's a sink and propane cooktop and stuff of that nature. And I don't need that kind of stuff, but the refrigerator's working out fine. It's not having trouble bouncing down the road, anything like that. Do you guys have any questions today at all that I can answer for you? I don't know whether maybe the chats aren't working today because nobody's even said hi. Did that face make any difference to y'all? I'm kind of going, I'm surprised. I miss having you guys chat with me. So, like I said, the rigs run really great. I'm getting on average 25 miles to the gallon. Yay, even with larger tires and being automatic. And a couple of times I've actually gotten 30 miles to the gallon. Oh, and that 25 miles to the gallon is while I'm running the air conditioner. So, I mean, who could be happier with that right now? And I can afford this vehicle. And if something went wrong, I could still afford it, even if it takes time. But I would like to, I'd like to dress it up. I'd like it to be pretty and be real overlandy. And, I have my Overland Bound membership brass emblem is on the side. And I have some ideas of some cute things I'd like to do. There's not much room. I'm one of those people that doesn't like bumper stickers. But when you open my back door, I like to put the stickers on the frame inside the door so that when it's closed, you don't even see it. But when you open it, it's like, hey guys, look, I'm cool. I got all the stickers. So so I got some of those stickers. I need to put my Weeboo sticker in there. Yeah, when I bought my Weeboost, it came with a little sticker too, so I got to put that on. But I'm running out of space in that little tiny. I have to find a new place to put more stickers. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. We've gone a good hour. I'm surprised nobody wants to say hi or has a question for me today. But I'm here. I'm available. Post your comments and if you feel like giving me a tip, I've said that a bunch of times. I should stop saying that. And I guess I'll see you next week because we've been over an hour and 15. But like I said, I haven't seen not even one. Let's do this. Let's change them and see. No, not even one chat has come up today. So you guys aren't talkative. All right. Well, I'm sorry. We didn't have anything to say. What's this button do? Oh, good Lord. That's weird. Okay, we're not doing that. It changes what it says. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little live today. I am, yeah, I'm doing health-wise, I'm doing well. I love being on the road. Y'all know that. I can't wait to get back out. And y'all be safe, keep it simple, travel light and often, and above all else, make every day an adventure. Y'all, ciao, till next week.